welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we're back with some more Delta Battle League Season 4, and we are on Week 4 currently, and we are up against JCDC 1221 and this Phoenix Sunflora. So I'm going to leave link for his stuff in the description below. Be sure to go check it out. And speaking of that description, we have a few other things. Be sure to check out and show your support if you want to do that kind of stuff. You can leave a like, subscribe if you have not already, and there is a Patreon in the description if you want to help a little bit extra. You can go be a Patreon subscriber as well. I'm working on getting things over there. Maybe I'll get some special videos that go up over there. I don't know. Give me suggestions, guys. Give me suggestions. But as you can see, we got the teams in front of us. I brought Mega Charizard Y. Before we get started, so this weekend's been a little bit hectic for me. Some things came up I wasn't expecting, so I haven't had time to record. So we did miss a couple days, and this is coming out late. And as such, I'm not doing the team builder before the video like I said I was going to start doing last week, because it's been so long, I don't necessarily remember why everything is the way it is. Not that I always remember that anyway, but we're just going to skip that this week. We'll be back with that next week. But I've got the Mega Charizard Y, the Milotic, the Azumarill, the Krook, the Beware, and the Togetic. Now, things I can tell you, it's the Mega Charizard Y, obviously. Then everything is made to outspeed everything but the Alakazam. I knew I couldn't outspeed the Alakazam except for with Choice Scarf Krook, but I didn't want to go Choice Scarf Krook again. Looking at his team, I probably could have been able to use it pretty well, but Crocodile is pretty interesting, so bear with me here. So the Charizard, we got Flamethrower, Overheat, Solar Beam, and Dragon Pulse. That's because I believe he has Hydreigon on this team, is why I brought that Dragon Pulse. Then Milotic has got Scald, Ice Beam, Mirror Coat, and Recover. Azumarill's Choice Band, once again, with the Aqua Jet, Waterfall. He might have Knockoff and Play Rough. If he doesn't have Knockoff, he has Superpower. And then I'm going to skip Krook because he's the more exciting one, like he always is. It's Crocodile. We have Assault Vest Beware, Shadow Claw, Ice Punch, Return. I think I went Return over Double Edge, and then Hammer Arm. And Togetic is going to be our Eviolite Defogger because he's got that Shuckle, and that's really all Shuckle does. But also to counter the Shuckle, we have the Crocodile. So this Crocodile has it's kind of fast, but not really. It's not made to outspeed a lot of things. It's a little bulkier. But it does have Earthquake, it has Knockoff, it has Stealth Rock, so it's going to be our Stealth Rock setter, and it has Taunt. So we can taunt the Smeargle, be like, hey boy, come here. And then he won't be able to do much to us, outside of having a Bug-type move. And we are Intimidate, and then his item is the Darkium Z. So this allows us to use the Black Hole Eclipse with the Knockoff, which brings it to base 150 damage. And then we could also use Z-Taunt if we want to do that. And Z-Taunt works just as Taunt does, but it also gives you a +1 in attack. So since we're not Moxie this week, I figured that could be fun. Now, this Crocodile can live a Dazzling Gleam from Alakazam if it's Focus Sash, and then I think it's a Roll if it's Life Orb. So we're going to get into this battle here. Who do I lead with? I lead Crocodile, expecting the Shuckle. So let's hit that play button. And of course, it is the Shuckle. I got to turn my volume down so you can't hear it over the microphone. So I'm just going to go for Taunt, expecting him not to expect that. And I do catch him trying to go for Sticky Web. So now here I can set up my rocks. Outside of like Struggle Bug or Infestation, he can't really do much. He goes for Knockoff. He's going to see that I do have my Z Crystal on my Crocodile because there's nothing knocked off. He brings in the Zapdos, and I'm going to knock him off, show you what a real knockoff is. That brings Zapdos down to 15%. I figured it might have Hidden Power Ice, and I don't want to take that hit right now. So I'm going to switch into the Azumarill, hoping to get that. But he does defog, so I could have taken out Zapdos here already, but unfortunately not. So I go for the Aqua Jet just to be sure Zapdos doesn't Thunderbolt me. And he brings in Decidueye, who kind of takes it, but it kind of does a little more than you'd want it to. Decidueye goes for the Leaf Blade. Unfortunately, gets the critical hit on the Beware, but he won't be able to do any Ghost-type moves, so I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch. He does bring in the Shuckle, which means he probably will get up his Sticky Webs here. Actually, he will be able to, because I'm going to switch out, because I know I can't take him out. I'm going to go back into Krook, get that Intimidate, plus I can taunt him from doing further with the Sticky Web. It was here that I figured I should have brought competitive Milotic. I completely forgot about Sticky Webs on Shuckle. I only remembered Stealth Rocks. So I'm going to set up my own Stealth Rocks, and this makes it so he might want to defog away my stuff, but he does go for Thunderbolt, expecting my Azumarill to come back in, and I'm able to take out Zapdos. So Krookodile picking up another KO. So Alakazam comes in, Dazzling Gleam, doesn't knock us out. Bam, knockoff. He's not Focus Sash. He was the Life Orb, so I believe that was a roll. So we might have got really lucky there. So we're 2%. Here, I go for the Z Taunt, trying to see if he's going to try and set up rocks on me. But alas, he doesn't. He goes for knockoff, so I could have switched into Charizard, saved Krookodile. Unfortunately, no cigar. So Charizard will be able to come in now. I can scare Shuckle out. I'm figuring he doesn't have any rock-type moves because he hasn't gone for him yet. And plus, he is taunted, so he can't really do anything. So I just go for a Flamethrower here. It hits everything fairly decently. Get a critical hit on the Miltank. I don't know that that necessarily mattered because I could have been able to knock it out in the following turn. Aggron's going to come in. I'm going to go for Overheat. Actually, I go for Flamethrower because Flamethrower automatically knocks out Mega Aggron. So, see ya. He's gone. Even with a ton of special defense investment and filter, it still knocks him out. So, Shuckle comes in. I can go for another Flamethrower. Knock him out. He's gone. And Decidueye will follow that suit. So, Mega Charizard Y just waxing some ass this week. Unfortunately, Krookodile did get a death. So, it's total KO. Its kill to death ratio is 12 KOs and 2 deaths, which technically ties it with the current leader, which is Mega Venusaur at 10 KOs and 0 deaths, and that's because the Venusaur possibly could be higher, but that team got a forfeit on week 3, and then week 4 he didn't bring Mega Venusaur, so I don't know how that works out. I think technically Venusaur is above Krookodile because it doesn't have any deaths, but Krookodile does have more deaths, but he needs to be tied to have, because he's got more deaths. He's got more kills than deaths. I forget what I was trying to say, but I think Mega Venusaur technically is number 1 because of that. But that brings up an interesting point. Next week, we go up against the Irvine Infernape, who have Mega Venusaur and have been wrecking some shop. Now, they did get their first loss this week, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything for us. They have gotten 2 6-0s, which is a little scary, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything for us. So we're going to go in, we're going to work real hard and see if we can overthrow him for the conference. Yeah, conference, yeah? Division conference? It's division first, then conference. If we can take over our conference or division. I can't remember which one's the smallest, but whatever one's the smallest, we're in the same group as him. And if we win next week, we are number 1. We are number 1, because technically he's beating us with differential. I think he's like 5 above us, I think, in differential, and that's because he's gotten 2 6-0s. So, hopefully next week we'll be able to whack some more ass. Mega Charizard Y. How many kills did he get? He took 4. He took 4 kills. I believe previously he was 2-2. So I believe that gives him a positive 4, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. With this week and last week, a lot of the other Pokemon didn't get any points because we had a sweep with Krook last week and we had a sweep with Mega Zard this week. So maybe next week some of our other Pokemon will be able to show off a little bit more. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Stay sharp, everyone, and go Wild Charge.